5 things I'm going to tell you about how I lost about 15 pounds in about 30 days. So some people have been commenting on my channel, see when I do these kinds of face-to-face videos, man, you lost weight, and in person especially. And I did, and I've been trying. So I just wanted to throw out there what happened for me, what worked for me. And I'm not a doctor. So first, number one, I went to a doctor. That's what I did. Now I'm getting like smart later in life. I'm starting to ask professionals when I need help. I ask people that know more than I do, and I ask them how to help me. So I rely on their expertise. So I went to a doctor mainly because I felt like, I was, walking and panting. Sometimes I'd go up and down the steps, do laundry, and I was out of breath when I got up the top of the steps. And I'm like, that's not me. That's not me. I don't know what's going on here. And I knew I was eating willfully, and I was eating things that weren't good for me. I was at the bakery, and I was, eating birthday cake and, baked goods and donuts and things, and, just stuff that isn't nutritionally beneficial for anybody, really. I mean, unless you just got off a desert island, you're starving or something. But anyway, I went to a doctor and said, hey, I'm concerned. And he said, okay, cool. Like, what do you want to do about it? So number 2, I said I wanted to go to a nutritionist. I had never been to a nutritionist before. I've always wanted to just go to an expert and say, hey, tell me what to eat, when to eat it, and I'll just follow that plan. Well, this doctor, she told me actually how to read nutrition labels. She gave me a budget, like kind of an idea. I understand budgets, financial budgets, and I'll do videos on that all day long if you guys want to talk about that. But she gave me like a dietary budget, like basically a calorie budget. So this many carbs, this many fats, this many proteins, and broke it down to a kind of a point system. It's not exactly the same as Weight Watchers. In fact, when she described it to me, I said, wow, it's Weight Watchers. And she said, no, they got the idea from us, but it's still like grounded in science. And that's the thing I wanted to talk about, was like the nutritionist. She went to school for a long time and keeps up on all the latest information. So I'm not sitting here trying to read a book, trying to figure out all this kind of thing. Okay, and number 3, that leads me to number 3. She made a plan that was customized for me and my goals. Okay, so the whole reason we went there in the first place was weight, and we thought that weight might be related to an elevated blood pressure reading and one like blood reading that was kind of off a little bit. So when she had that information in mind and knew what my goals were, she was able to make a kind of a food plan, a meal plan for me, right? But if I went in there and my doctor said, okay, low sodium, that would have been different, right? Because I am eating things like tomatoes, other things that have they're relatively high in sodium. There's no restrictions for me. But for somebody else, they might be in a more acute hypertension situation. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. They might be in a situation where they can't eat a lot of salt or sugar, right? So for me, my blood sugar levels have never been a problem. But for other people, if people are pre-diabetic or diabetic or that sort of thing, they might need a customized plan. So that was number 3, was that she made a plan that was just for me, specifically for these particular weight loss goals. Okay, so that's why it's working, I guess. And number 4, I have to look at my notes because I'm getting old and I can't remember things. Number 4, my plan is basically a calorie counting plan, but it's subdivided into the 3 major nutrient divisions, right? So it's carbohydrates, it's proteins, and it's fats, right? And so because fats are, there's like twice as many calories in fats, I get to eat like about half as many fats as in other categories. But it all kind of rounds out. So basically, it's like 50, 30, 20, or 50, 25, 25. It's basically half carbs or thereabouts. They're all rough estimates. A quarter proteins and a quarter fats, or slightly more proteins, actually. So if you break it down into points, a point system. And I can do another video explaining the whole point system, which if anybody wants to, let me know and I'll do it. Basically, I get 11 servings of carbs a day to 8 servings of protein a day to 5 to 6 servings of fat a day. And since I said before, the fats kind of like count as, double the calories, so that kind of balances out there. All right, so, and then number five is when I went to the nutritionist, I thought, oh no, I'm going to starve, right? I'm going to be hungry all the time. And I'm a little bit hungry for certain foods, but basically, I won't be like gut wrenching, like you're on a fast kind of hungry, because on my particular meal plan, I can eat all of certain kinds of vegetables I want. So I can eat as much lettuce, broccoli, kohlrabi, beets. There's so many. There's carrots, turnips. I don't eat turnips. Asparagus, I love. Cauliflower, like all those kinds of things I can eat in abundance. Even like green beans, certain kinds of beans, not garbanzo beans. They have a lot of carbs in them, but like there are basically what Weight Watchers would call free foods, right? That I can eat as much as I want. And the idea I think behind that is, and I talked to her a little bit about it, is that I'm crowding out the other foods that I would eat in place of those, right? Like Doritos and like donuts and things like that. They're not there anymore because I'm eating these, vegetables and salads and that sort of thing. All right, so those are the 5 things that I could come up with today that helped me to lose weight. 15 pounds in 30 days. That's like pretty good. Actually, it's faster than we thought because, well, I could talk about that in another video. But the plan was relatively easy to follow, and I highly recommend going to a doctor and a specialist to get the help that I need. That's what I did. All right, I'll talk to you guys on the next one. If you have any questions or comments, throw them below. I'm sure I'm going to get a whole ton of comments, but, you should eat meat and you should eat carbs and this, that, and the other. But, it's all good. I appreciate the information. I'm learning, and I'm also happy because it's working. What I'm doing is working for me. So hope you guys have a great one. Take care.